Welcome back to Mysterious Universe, where we explore the hidden truths of our cosmos, one secret at a time. If you're fascinated by the unknown, you're in the right place. And today, we're diving into one of the most mind-bending mysteries hiding in plain sight, just a few days' journey away. Take a moment, look up at the moon. It's our silent companion, ever present, ever beautiful. But behind its serene glow lies something deeply unsettling. A part of the moon so mysterious, even NASA has barely scratched the surface. It's the South Pole, a frozen, pitch-black region filled with shadowy craters, hidden water, and perhaps something far stranger. In 2019, a team of scientists discovered a massive anomalous metal structure buried beneath a gigantic impact basin. We're talking about an object 5 times larger than the big island of Hawaii, weighing more than 2.4 quintillion tons. No one can explain what it is or how it got there. But that's just the beginning. The moon's south pole also holds permanently shadowed craters, places that haven't seen sunlight in over 3 billion years. These craters are cold traps, preserving ancient water ice, and possibly forming the cornerstone of future lunar colonies. And now, the United States and China are racing to claim this hidden frontier, not just for science, but for energy, dominance, and perhaps survival. So why does this matter? Because this region may hold the key to humanity's next giant leap, or the spark of the next great conflict. Stay with us as we uncover the bizarre structure beneath the moon's crust, the secrets in its eternal shadows, and the real reason why superpowers are scrambling to plant flags down there. If you're new here, subscribe now, hit that notification bell, and drop us a comment. Should we fear what's beneath the moon, or embrace it? Let's begin. In 2019, something extraordinary was uncovered beneath the moon's surface. Something that defied every theory of lunar geology. Using data from NASA's Grail mission, a team of scientists at Baylor University detected a massive anomaly beneath the moon's South Pole Aitken Basin, one of the largest impact craters in the solar system. This wasn't just a slight blip in gravity, it was a concentrated, unmovable lump of mass, a region so dense that it was warping the moon's gravitational field. The numbers were staggering. The hidden object was estimated to be 5 times the size of the big island of Hawaii and weighed more than 2.4 quintillion tons. At first, researchers assumed it could be remnants from the impact that created the Aitken Basin billions of years ago. But then came the real shock. The mass appeared to be metallic, denser than anything native to the moon's known geology. So, what is it? The leading theory suggests that a colossal asteroid with a metal core once slammed into the moon and buried its remains under the surface, like a cosmic tombstone. Over billions of years, that iron-rich core remained lodged deep beneath the basin, slowly distorting the surrounding gravity field. But others have proposed a far more provocative idea, that this object may be artificial in nature, the remains of a long-forgotten probe, ancient alien technology, or even a structure embedded purposefully. No excavation mission has been launched yet. But make no mistake, the moon is no longer just a rock in our sky. It is now a puzzle with pieces buried deep underground, and the biggest piece we've found so far may not even be from this world. And this discovery was just the first layer. Imagine a place that has never, not once, seen sunlight, not for a day, not for a century, but for over 3 billion years. That place exists on our very own moon. At its south pole lies a chain of craters so deep, so perfectly positioned, that sunlight never reaches them due to the moon's minimal axial tilt. These permanently shadowed regions are known as cold traps, and scientists believe they may be among the coldest locations in the entire solar system, with temperatures plummeting below 240 degrees C. But what truly intrigues researchers isn't the cold. It's what the cold has preserved. Because these shadowy pits, such as Cabeus, Shackleton, Shoemaker, and Faustini, are believed to house massive reserves of ancient water ice. Over billions of years, asteroids carrying frozen H2O bombarded the moon. While most of the water was vaporized or lost to space, some of it drifted into these craters, never to be touched by heat or light again. These frozen vaults may hold billions of tons of ice, untouched since the moon's earliest days. And in the vacuum of space, water is more than survival. It's power. It can be split into oxygen for breathing and hydrogen for fuel, making it the essential ingredient for any long-term lunar colony. More than that, these craters are time capsules. Because their conditions are so extreme, they may hold organic materials or even prebiotic chemistry from early solar system history, making them one of the most promising sites for studying the origins of life. And so the question becomes, what else lies frozen in these ancient shadows? And who will be the first to reach it? When we think of gold rushes, we imagine pickaxes, rivers, and dust trails. But in the 21st century, the new gold is frozen, and it's found not in riverbeds, but in the eternal shadows of the moon. Water is the ultimate resource for any space mission. It's life support, it's fuel, it's survival. And nowhere on the moon is water more plentiful or more protected than in the South Pole craters. Some estimates suggest these cold traps could contain over 600 million metric tons of ice. That's enough to support a full-scale colony indefinitely. But this isn't just about drinking water. Using a process called electrolysis, that ice can be converted into oxygen for breathing and hydrogen for rocket fuel. With it, lunar outposts could refuel spacecraft for deeper journeys into the solar system, turning the moon into a launch pad for Mars and beyond. And that changes everything. Whoever controls this water controls the gateway to the rest of the solar system. And suddenly, space exploration isn't just about science. It's about leverage, dominance, and infrastructure. Which is why multiple nations, including the United States and China, have quietly begun to outline plans for permanent lunar installations near these frozen reserves. Each crater has become a strategic resource, like an offshore oil field on Earth, only exponentially more valuable. NASA's Artemis program is aiming to put American boots on the moon again by 2020, and it's no coincidence that the selected landing zones lie near these shadowed craters. Because in this race, location is everything. The moon is no longer a symbolic destination. It's a logistical asset, and water is its currency. In 1969, the space race ended with a single boot print on the moon. But today, a new race is quietly escalating, one that could define global power for the next century. And this time, it's not between the U.S. and the Soviet Union. It's between the U.S. and China. At the heart of this competition, the moon's South Pole. Both nations have declared intentions to establish permanent lunar colonies, and their timelines are shockingly close. NASA's Artemis 3 is targeting 2027. Meanwhile, China's Chang'e 7 mission plans to land in 2026, with a robotic probe capable of hopping into deep craters and extracting ice samples. These aren't scientific coincidences. They're tactical moves in a larger game. In 2021, NASA Administrator Bill Nelson put it bluntly, "It's a fact. We're in a space race." He warned that China might arrive under the guise of research, claim key territory, and say, "Keep out. This is ours." And while the 1967 Outer Space Treaty prohibits nations from owning land in space, reality could be messier. Just like disputed territories on Earth, whoever gets there first might control access in practice, if not in law. The stakes? Billions of tons of ice. The most stable solar power locations on the moon, like the peaks of eternal light, which receive sunlight 90% of the time. And access to helium-3, a rare isotope that could fuel clean energy for centuries. It's no longer a question of if a moon base will be built. It's a question of who gets there first, and what they claim when they do. Because in this new space race, the finish line isn't a flag in the dust. It's infrastructure, control, and the first real estate deed in space. Beneath the moon's surface lies a resource so rare, so valuable, it could reshape the global energy economy forever. It's not gold. It's not platinum. It's something far more powerful. Helium-3. Helium-3 is an isotope that barely exists on Earth. But on the moon, it's been quietly accumulating for billions of years, deposited by solar winds and locked into the lunar regolith, the loose layer of dust and rock covering the surface. Why does it matter? Because helium-3 is the key to nuclear fusion without radiation. Unlike traditional nuclear fuel, which produces dangerous radioactive waste, helium-3 could power clean fusion reactors with minimal risk. Just 1 ton of helium-3 could generate energy equivalent to 10 gigawatt years, enough to power a major U.S. city for an entire year. Now consider this. Estimates suggest there could be over 1 million tons of helium-3 on the moon. That's a multi-trillion-dollar economy waiting to be claimed. And guess where the highest concentrations are? You guessed it, the South Pole. The same region where ice, solar energy, and strategic terrain converge. This is why both NASA and China's space agency have explicitly mentioned helium-3 in mission objectives. This isn't just scientific curiosity anymore. This is about energy dominance. In a future where Earth transitions to fusion power, the nation or alliance that controls helium-3 could control the world's energy supply. It's a startling idea that the dusty plains of the moon may one day hold the keys not just to space exploration, but to the survival of modern civilization itself. What was once a silent silver satellite is now shaping up to be the Middle East of space. If there is one location on the moon that could determine the fate of human presence in space, it's Shackleton Crater. Sitting right on the lunar South Pole, this massive crater is more than just another shadowy depression. It's a cosmic jackpot, combining nearly every critical element needed to sustain a permanent human outpost. Let's start with light. While the inside of Shackleton is cloaked in eternal darkness, its rim stands high above the surface, forming one of the few places on the moon that receives nearly continuous sunlight. These ridges, known by NASA as the peaks of eternal light, are perfect for solar panels. That means reliable, clean energy almost 24/7. Then, just meters below these sunlit peaks, lie permanently shadowed regions harboring water ice. This unique juxtaposition, light and ice, side by side, is what makes Shackleton so special. Power above, life support below. This crater also sits near other vital terrain features. Easy landing zones, line-of-sight communication with Earth-stable geology for building long-term infrastructure. It's no surprise, then, that Shackleton is at the top of both NASA's Artemis and China's Chang'e target lists. Whoever lands here first will likely stake a claim, not legally, but logistically, on the moon's most valuable plot of land. Imagine a base built on the rim, solar arrays capturing power from the sun while rovers harvest ice from the shadows. That base could be the first true stepping stone to a multi-planetary civilization. And here's the unsettling part. Unlike flags and footprints, this base won't be temporary. It will grow. It will expand. And one day, it may be declared a sovereign asset. At that point, the moon will no longer be no man's land. It will be divided. The race to the moon's South Pole is no longer just a scientific endeavor. It's beginning to mirror the geopolitical flashpoints of Earth. As the United States and China accelerate their plans for permanent lunar settlements, the specter of a moon-based Cold War becomes increasingly plausible. Both countries are eyeing the same territory, specifically the crater rims and cold traps around Shackleton and nearby formations. And with only a limited number of sites offering the holy trinity of space colonization, water, light, and safe terrain, the likelihood of overlapping ambitions is nearly inevitable. Technically, the 1967 Outer Space Treaty prohibits any nation from claiming ownership of the Moon or any celestial body. But the treaty doesn't address functional control. And once one nation lands, builds infrastructure, and begins resource extraction, it effectively becomes the de facto occupier, setting up the legal gray zone for conflict. Imagine a future where two outposts sit miles apart on the rim of Shackleton. One flies the American flag, the other, the Chinese. Now imagine a U.S. rover attempts to cross into a shadowed region currently being surveyed by China. Does it have the right to proceed? What if water mining is underway? What if they say, "This area is under research, do not enter"? Suddenly, exploration turns political. Satellites orbiting above could be redirected. Jamming signals, interference, and even cyber attacks could escalate tensions. And with helium-3 and water on the line, resources that could power or supply billions, the stakes are no longer theoretical. NASA officials have already voiced concern. So have Chinese space policy advisors. And quietly, military liaisons are now included in space strategy briefings. The Moon, once the symbol of peace in space, is becoming the next contested frontier. And unlike Earth, there are no global courts, no UN troops, and no international policing mechanism above 100 kilometers. It begs the question, are we planting flags for science, or preparing the ground for the first extraterrestrial conflict? As we gaze upon the Moon from Earth, it still appears as it always has, silent, unchanging, ethereal. But beneath that tranquil surface, a storm is quietly gathering, not of dust or meteors, but of ambition, technology, and global strategy. The south pole of the Moon is no longer a distant dream. It is the next frontier of human expansion, a place where nations will test not only their engineering prowess, but also their diplomacy, ethics, and long-term vision. It offers a chance to unite humanity under a banner of discovery, or divide us under the weight of territorial competition. Buried in its shadows lie billions of tons of water ice, the key to life and rocket fuel. Scattered across its dusty crust are reserves of helium-3, the fuel that could power Earth for generations. And within its ancient basin is a mystery of metal so vast it challenges our very understanding of lunar formation. But perhaps the greatest secret the Moon holds is what we will choose to become as we return to its surface. Will we build together, sharing knowledge, resources, and purpose to push humanity forward? Or will we stake claims, draw lines, and repeat the mistakes we made under Earth's sky? The Moon doesn't just reflect the light of the sun. It may soon reflect the true nature of our species, our thirst for knowledge, or our hunger for control. At Mysterious Universe, we invite you to stay curious, stay vigilant, and stay inspired. Because the race for the Moon isn't science fiction anymore. It's now. If you found this video thought-provoking, drop us a comment below. Would you support a lunar colony? Who do you think should control it, if anyone? Don't forget to subscribe for more deep space revelations and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. This is Mysterious Universe, where we explore not only the stars above, but the truth that lies beyond them.